less than 3 weeks to UTA100. I'm here at my local gym just trying to get out of the rain. It's absolutely pouring down here at the moment. We're getting like torrential rain. My intention was to shoot this video outdoors today, but I just wanted to get it done. So here I am at the lovely gym on King. The reason for I think showing the equipment, the nutrition, it's obviously a massive part of the race. I know last year when I was doing the research and couldn't find a lot of information or videos specific for UTA100. Obviously there's lots of videos out there that show different equipment people use for different races, and UTA has its own specific list of mandatory gear. So I just wanted to go through what I am wearing this year. A lot of it's the same, a few little tweaks here and there. Using poles that I've literally just got, so trialing those out tomorrow. Different shoes, obviously. Different watch this year. Much of it's still the same, just learning each year, just tweaking little things, playing around with nutrition. So firstly, I'm just going to run through what's on my body, and then I'll go through the vest. There's a fair bit to that as well. Lots of different bits and pieces hidden away inside here. I'll get all that stuff out. I'll run through all the mandatory gear, and plus the wet weather gear that is decided prior to the race whether you actually need to carry that. So it's good to just see it all. Obviously there's a list on the UTA website, which I'll throw a link into that. The thing that can really, I think, caught me out, I found a little bit confusing, is just the actual materials that the different thermals and that need to be made of. Something that's really, you need to check with the specific items when you're purchasing. You can get caught out if you're not carrying the mandatory gear or improper gear. You can get supposedly disqualified, but time penalties. And I didn't get checked last year, but I did see one station where they were checking gear. I think they were checking for headlights. So something to just keep in the back of my mind, in the back of your mind. First off, I'm just gonna run through what I'm wearing on my body. So I have the runner hat. They're a bit of a favorite. This one's brand new. I just like the comfort of these. I've run a few 100 kilometers in them. Nice snug fit. Love just the look of them. Got some cool colorways. This is a Lululemon top. I think what I really like about these is just the fit, plus they got a bit of a texture to them. These are Under Armour shorts. They're literally from Rebel Sport. I've got a pair in here actually. These are just I think they're a 5-inch short, but the thing I really like about them is just they're just basic, fit well, fairly loose fit, but they got the internal liner. Me personally, I like the internal liner. Some people do, some people don't. Sometimes I wear undies, sometimes I don't, depending on temperature. No undies with these in summer is unreal. The watch that I'm wearing here, which unfortunately is cracked, which I don't want to go into, but I'm running the Garmin 0955 Solar. I've been using that for about probably 3 months. I think I've had it now. Really good watch, really light, good battery life. I can't fault it. Normally I forgot to bring it with me, but I'm wearing the Garmin Heart Rate Monitor Pro, just the standard heart rate monitor. Links into the watch, obviously. Yeah, they're pretty comfy, pretty good piece of kit. Simple, works, connecting with the watch. Not really much more to say. My shoes this year, which I've probably done about 5 runs in these now. Getting the hang of them, really like them so far. These are an Asics, sorry I forgot the model. Tribuco Max 4. Yes, I've had these about 5 weeks. Really comfy shoe. Obviously, if you can see them there, they're like quite a high stack height in them, so definitely designed for comfort. They're quite broad as well through the sole, through the upper. I've sized up about half a size. The reasoning for this, with the longer distance stuff, you definitely want to be on the larger side, just because your feet will swell. And you just want to have that little bit of room for expansion and comfort. Obviously, 12 plus hours on the feet. You definitely want to be comfy. You want to try your shoes out, get a few good solid runs in before the event. Yeah, with these, they're good for open fire trail. Good broad sort of platform, really makes them, feels like it just really dissipates the energy nicely. They got a good tread pattern on them. Good grip, minimalist but nice. Yeah, it's about all I could say with them. Loving them so far. We'll maybe give a bit of a review after the race, after I've done some more Ks in them, see how they held up. I haven't really had them in the water yet. That'll be interesting to see, will they dissipate water, hold on to it? I'm not really sure. The socks that, during the longer events, runs that are over like 20 Ks, I run a toe sock. So these are the Injiji toe socks. To be blatantly honest, I don't run toe socks normally, just because the inconvenience of like putting them on and off. During longer runs, 20, 30 Ks or more, I run double socks. So I'll run these toe socks. Toe socks definitely help with chafage. Obviously, you got protection between your toes, which really helps. Then I run a second set of socks, just normal over the top. So that double layer just really helps with the longer distances. As well as that, I use this normal strapping tape, and I tape the inner soles, my inner soles on both sides, just like 2 layers next to each other on the inside. If anyone has any questions about that, I'm happy to drop a comment and I can give some more info. Everyone's different though. Definitely get some longer runs in with the shoes that you're going to wear and check for any spots. Could be on the heels, could be on the ball of your feet. Just make sure that you don't want to get to the 50, 60K mark and start getting blisters. So that tape works really well, holds up for the 100Kers. That's everything that's on my body that I wear. I'm going to get into the vest now, run through the vest itself and everything that's the stuff that's hanging off it, what's inside of it, all the mandatory gears in it at the moment. So yeah. So this is the vest that I wear. It's a Salomon Advanced Skin 12. Probably, I believe, the most common vest for ultra running. I purchased this one for the event last year, running. This is a medium for me, which was a great fit. In terms of comfort, in terms of durability, these vests are unreal. I had the Advanced Skin 5, I think, before, which I ran a few 100Ks in. Still have that to this day. Still holding up really well. I won't go into the details of the actual vest itself. A lot of videos out there around like the actual technical aspects of it, all the different pockets, zippers, there's a whistle, main section at the back here, which is zippered, where most of your mandatory gear and that's held. So I'll just run through exactly what is going on with my vest and where I store stuff for the race. So 2 drink bottles, 500ml each. One of those I will fill with just water. The other one has a carb drink, so aiming for 80 grams of carbs minimum per hour. To achieve that, I use a combination of carb drink in one of them, and then say liquid carbs, solid carbs through different gels. So a combination of liquid solids. Also you got the first aid, or the different stations you can stop at. There's a huge amount of different like baked goods, sandwiches, more gels, waffles, fruits, different stuff like that along the way, which helps as well. I've just been trialing this one by Trail Brew. It's a raspberry flavoured carbon electrolyte drink, which I'm really enjoying. Shout out to them, being an Australian company. I love supporting Aussie stuff, Aussie brands. There's a lot of the nutritional endurance products are coming out of the States and Europe, so it's good to see some Aussie brands. This one is carbs plus electrolytes, so get a good combination in with that. So the vest itself, water in this side, liquid carbs in the other one, electrolytes. Coming around to the side here, so I usually stash a couple of gels in there. These are the Humor gels. They're more sort of natural one. I try and cut down on sugars and preservatives as much as possible. They're really nice. They taste just like pretty much like jam. So to last me between aid stations, which is roughly 20 Ks, I got 2 of those on me in the right side. In my left here, always carry my phone. Mandatory that you have a phone that's charged. Obviously iPhones are pretty heavy these days. You could go for something a lot lighter, but for myself, I'll be capturing a bit of footage as well along the way. We'll be wearing a GoPro too, so a bit of extra pack weight for myself, but the other thing for me is I can use the location services, so my crew can actually see where I am out on the course. Coming around a bit further, so these are some of the bigger gels. These are by Precision Fuel. Those in themselves have 90 grams of carbs. What I love most about these is that they're actually they're sort of like baby food setup. They've got the top that can go back on. Obviously with your sort of traditional gels, the smaller ones like that, once you rip the top off them, they can't be resealed. So these are unreal. You can, when I'm out running, doing some longer ones, I'll sip on these, maybe have like a third at a time, so you don't have to do a big hit. They can be, can be a lot. The gels, definitely worth trying different brands and seeing what you can tolerate as well. You may reach a point where you just can't tolerate the sugar. They are quite sweet. It's good to practice this, prior to the event. The other thing that I have in here, I have one an hour, is just these. They're just salt pills. You can get them at any chemist pretty much. They cost bugger all. They're just salt, sodium, good to top up. The carb drinks, a lot of them have sodium in them and electrolytes. It's good just to play on the safe side. I think it's something that really benefits you, especially deeper into the race. Anything to do with nutrition you really want to be on top of. So that's the best, what goes on in the side pockets here. I'm just going to jump into the back of it. That's where most of the mandatory gear is held. So opening it up, this is the new light that I'm running. Tried it a couple of times now. Super comfy. So this one's by Petzl, and it's called the Eco Core 500 lumen light. It's the first one that I run in this sort of headband setup, straps to your head a bit more contoured, as opposed to like the traditional lights, just a single strap like the camping style. I had a Petzl light before this, and it went really well. I did have a little bit of trouble with it taking on water. It would just start to wig out a bit when it was in heavy rain. So I have gone Petzl again. This one's meant to be IPX4 waterproof, so should stand up to some pretty heavy rain. Plus the battery setup, the Petzls have rechargeable packs. They run this like hybrid setup, which has worked really well for me. And the reason for that is that the packs inside, so you can swap these battery packs out. They just charge off like a, where is it there? You can take the packs out and charge them. It's just a USB, not C, but the similar one, the Samsung style plug. So you can swap these out on the go. I carry 2 of these packs. I think you get about 4 hours at full beam, which should be plenty. But the other thing is you can put AAs in these as well. So my backup torch runs on, AAA batteries. Worst case, which actually happened to me last year, I ran out of these battery packs. I think I was only carrying one, and I had to, because obviously the whole event's not in the dark, but I had to resort to my backup torch, and I pulled the packs, the AAAs out of that, and put them in my headlamp, and that got me to the finish. So yeah, love that hybrid setup with the Petzls. And just for reference, that's it fitted under there like that. I also tried it the other day and used it with this sort of a setup. It does fit underneath your hat. Because it's so minimalist at the front, you can sit it underneath, which works really well because when you're trail running and you have your torch above your head, sitting up here, it actually blocks the light underneath, so you get like a shadow effect. Hopefully that makes sense. When the torch is up here, because you got something blocking here, you get like a shadow effect, whereas when it's underneath the brim of your hat, you will get more of a lower pitch light down to where your feet are going to go. That's just wet wipes in that bag, but it's mandatory to carry a garbage bag, which that doubles as. You never know when nature will call. Always carry wet wipe. So this bag here is my safety gear. I'll start off, so there's a whistle in there with a compass. And we have a bandage as well, which is 7.5 by 2.3 meters unstretched. You can just see that written on the bandage itself, but I'll put the link for the mandatory gear, and there is actually specific dimensions that the bandage has to be within. This is my backup torch. As mentioned, it has AAA batteries inside of it. So this is just a cheap torch from Bunnings, just for a backup. But inside of that, it's got AAA batteries, which I can use inside of my Petzl torch if need be. If all else fails, then I do have this as a backup secondary torch. This here is a safety blanket. I'm not going to get it out because it'll never go back in. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't think there's any specifications on that. This is a high-vis vest, which is mandatory after I think 6 p.m. you have to run with it. So there is specific certification levels that it has to have on it. Put it in the description, but that one passes. I know that when I was searching, I got this one from Bunnings, but I remember the first ones I looked at Bunnings and another store weren't actually, wouldn't pass the mandatory classification. It's to do with the pattern, I think, on the back of it. Something worth checking though when you're sizing it is the vest will run over the top of your gear. So it'll be over the top of your running vest at the same time. So make sure you size it pretty big so you can get it over the top. And I'd recommend trying running with it as well. It does make a bit more noise, can hold a bit of heat. So something just to factor in as well. This is the jacket which sits in the top. It's not actually in the, it's not in the zipper part of, it's not in the zipper part of the jacket. It actually fits in the top. So it's easily accessible. It's not zippered, so when you're running you don't have to take the vest off to get to it. I forget this is a Salomon jacket. I forget the actual model of it. This is a medium size. I think it's Salomon's most popular sort of trail running jacket. I'll put a link of all my gear in the description. Yeah, Salomon jacket, super lightweight, super durable, really breathable. Another thing's noise, pretty good on the noise front. There is other jackets. I find it quite annoying when the jacket makes a heap of noise while you're running. It's okay for a little bit, but you've got to put up with that for hours on end. But you know, that's just, it's probably a personal thing for me. So yeah, this is the mandatory gear. Mainly the clothing I put in this waterproof bag. Just don't want any of it getting wet. I've also got it in Ziploc bags as well, just to separate it out so it's not as hard to find the items. This is like a little beanie sort of style. It's either that or like a bandana that needs to be carried. Pretty lightweight, pretty warm, nice material, pretty comfy. Didn't have to wear it last year, but got it there. These are a pair of gloves. Once again, I think these are from MacPack as well. Fairly decent quality. Lightweight, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Might need to wear them a bit more this year, carrying the poles, not sure. I'm just going to do a bit more running leading up to the event just to see where I need to actually wear gloves while I'm on the poles. My intention for them this year is just for the ascending with the poles. I think it'll really help, but I'll run through those in a second. This is let's go with they're the weather dependent items. I'll just go through them in a sec. This is a lightweight, I think they call it a liner, 100 gram liner top. It's not a thermal, but it's just like a lightweight top. This one, I think it took me a little bit of research just to find something that was within the right specification. I've run in this a lot. I've worn it cycling and that too. Really good, lightweight, decent material. This one's by a MacPack as well. I believe that I ran a lot of the start of UTA with this last year and was probably a bit too hot. Yeah. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments and I can try and help you out. This is the thermal top. MacPack, lightweight, light-ish weight. There is, you know, there's items out there you can spend hundreds of dollars on this stuff to get the lightest, best materials. This is probably like a mid-range top. I think these are like $30 each. from MacPack, $30–40, so not, you know, super expensive, on the heavier side, but you know, just make sure you get the right materials. With all your gear, it needs to be checked prior to the event, so I definitely recommend taking it to a local store or somewhere that can do it. For me, there's a local running shop that does it all, and at least do it a few weeks out, so if it's something that needs replacing, it's not right, you can get it sorted. Don't have to stress, you know, a few days out. So these are the weather dependent items. A day, I think it's the day prior, they send out an email telling you whether you need to carry these or not. I've been training with them, just carrying them, just so I know what my pack weight is. If I don't have to carry them, then it's a bonus, you know, like less weight the better. These are the same as the thermal top, so it's the thermal bottom. Buy a MacPack as well, nice slim. Just went into the store, tried them on. I think they're like $30–40 each. The other item is, which I hope I will never have to wear. These are, I couldn't imagine running in them. These are a waterproof pant, which is a weather dependent item. They're ugly as, they would make a heap of noise. They would be quite annoying, I reckon, to be honest. Size large. Yeah, just the bag is attached to it, it packs into itself, so that one's pretty self-explanatory. The only other item, a new one for me this year, something that I think will have a really big benefit just on the ascending, and that's the some poles. So with the poles, there's obviously different sizings for your different heights. I've gone on the shorter side of what suits me. My reasoning for that is that I'm using them just for ascending, so I can get my arms down a bit lower. You want your arms about right angle when they're in the poles, but for ascending, you want to be able to you'll get more drive if you've got your arms a bit lower as opposed to, you know, up here. So the poles that I've gone with are, firstly, what holds the poles, and I just attached this on today, is on this is the Salomon quiver. So it just hooks in on I've got it on the left side, being right-handed, so I can reach over myself and grab them. They will be, so on this side here, reaching over and grabbing them. So it attaches on with like, there's these two clips, and then down the bottom there's like a strap which I might have to play around with a little bit, just to, that attaches them to the bottom of the vest. Top clips. So these are Black Diamond distance carbon Z poles. So I've only just learned about poles, but these are obviously the Z style in a Z. Pretty quick to set up, so the string holds them together like that. Then they simply just push together. Then this upper piece, when it's extended like that, which extends the string, they lock in. So yeah, they're a nice pole. They're super lightweight, seem durable. We'll give a bit more of a view once I try them out some more. So yeah, nice design, nice looking. Yeah, I think it'll take me a little bit just to get used to getting them obviously in and out of the quiver. I do feel a little bit like I'm balanced having them on one side, but I'm sure that's just because it's something new. Lastly, I just wanted to show these. So I run the drop bags. This year I'm going to supply all my own nutrition. The reason for that being is that I know what I'm getting, and it takes out a variable for me. So when I get to the stations, I can just be like, boom, boom, that's what I need. It's in there, ready to go. Grab the stuff, keep going. I may graze off the tables a little bit, so I can just add in like, you know, some more carbs and stuff like that. In each of the bags, probably not all of the stations, but every second I have a pair of fresh shorts. Probably the main reason is just if I get wet, you know, and little things like this can make a big difference. Another shirt as well, got another pair of socks, so can just swap those out if need be, you know. I think mentally, I think physically it makes sort of a little bit of difference being dry, but mentally it can be pretty big. There'll just be, this one's got sunscreen in it, but there'll just be like a few more gels. So I'll top up with like, you know, 3-4 gels and then another carb drink. I just wanted to give a shout out to this one. So this is by NARC, pretty common one that a lot of people use. This one is salted soup flavor, which may sound disgusting, but I ran this last year. It was sort of last minute that I decided to buy this and try it, and the theory worked, and simply because it is one of very few which has got a more of a savory taste. Like a lot of the gels and powders and that are very sweet, and after a while you can get sick of all, well I personally get sick of all the sugars. So this, I ran this last year and it was really good. Yes, it's cold soup, but just that savory flavor. I would try it, maybe just mix it up between, not every aid station, but yeah, something good to carry. That's pretty much all the gear that I believe was needed on the day. Obviously, like, moral support from people is unreal. Aid stations have like so much food. You could honestly, I shouldn't say this, but you could turn up with no nutrition. It is mandatory that you carry 2 nutrition bars, but there's so much. They do an awesome job of the event itself, but also the nutrition, the aid stations, you know, water, food, so much to choose from. There's fruit, there's baked goods, there's sandwiches, there's ample amounts of like gels, bars, stroop waffles. They're really good, so you won't go hungry out there, but just make sure you stay dialed from the start. Like, a lot of what you do, you may not get hungry at the start, but what you do then is really crucial for the back end of your race. I know for myself, in reflection of last year, I think the poles will be a bit of a game changer really at the back end too. Like, there's some steep ass climbs getting out of it, and I think that'll really help. So yeah, each year just continually tweaking it, expanding, growing, changing things. But yeah, nutrition is the big one. Make sure you stay on top of that at all times. A good thing is to set like alarms on your watch. So for me, every hour I have like one for salt, and then every half hour it'll be drink and another reminder for bars. I found that even in my shorter runs, like I'll just get lost in, I don't know, whatever's going on around me, nature, and sometimes I don't drink water for like, you know, 5+ Ks, and you just want to stay on top of that. So the Garmin watch is pretty easy. You can set up little reminders at time intervals or kilometers, and they're good little, just handy, just nudge to stay on top of your nutrition. Looking forward to the event. Training's going really well. Pretty stoked with where I'm at. Feeling a little nervous this year, just a bit more pressure that I'm putting on myself just with the goal, but you know, I know that's part of it. Next week I think I'll do a video just around mindset a bit and where I'm at, maybe go back over my training, and yeah, looking forward to the event. If anyone's heading there, any supporters, like and subscribe. Love the support. Any comments, any questions, throw them in and I'll get back to you. Let's go.